Welcome back to this episode. This is a continuation of episode 1 where we had some training of Songshan players. These are all national junior players from Taiwan, Chinese Taipei, Taiwan. So the coach is starting off with this sequence of drill, one shot on the forehand and a deep push to the backhand. So a few things to note: you have to step in with your right feet, get the ball on the bounce, step back out, ready position, and be extra careful not to lift your body when doing a backhand topspin. You're relying on your entire arm to do the lifting of the ball, not using the body. If you lift too much, then you get unbalanced. So he actually does a very, very good drop shot. You can see just on the bounce, 2-3 bounce before it goes off the table. Okay, so the movement to the backhand topspin, yeah, I do see there's some areas that needs adjustments. Okay, next play is coming on. Again, they're filling up the containers. Very disciplined in this regard. Automatically, he knows it's his turn. The coach doesn't need to call. You know, the coach is here for table tennis. Is not here for babysitting. So the players all knows what their roles are. Fill the container, get into position. The other player raise a bit and start picking up balls. Okay, so a bit different. Forehand drop. If the ball's short, forehand flick. If the ball's long, forehand drive or topspin. Probably have some sweat there on the rubber. Just cleaning it. So the short push, and the coach is also giving into the backhand corner. So all these looks like very simple drills, but in all fairness, these all occur in matches. So we practice a lot of these short, what I call short games. The first 3 balls, the first 5 balls. So if you practice the technique correctly, get your accuracy higher, get the way you treat the ball to be of higher, level, more spin, more control, and if you do it 100 times, 200 times in the afternoon or in the morning or in the evening, when kind of matches where you need to do it 2 or 3 times, the quality will be there. So coach is saying, don't lift the ball with your body, just grip it over with your backhand. So the ball's going, and just relying on the wrist action to guide the ball over. Now he's still lifting the body a bit too much. The reason why he's lifting his body is because his whole weight of moving back onto his foot from inside the table going back is pushing his whole body backward a bit too much. So he's moving a bit slow. If he can land earlier, he will be more control. So the coach is probably telling him to get into that position a lot sooner. Okay, that is a lot better in terms of getting back quicker. Okay, see when he lifts the body, the ball clips the net a bit. It's not perfect. So all these are drills that everybody can practice. If you have a partner that can just get the ball back for you, make sure to not chop too high. Otherwise it becomes a very high ball where you smash. There's not enough spin. So right now the coach is actually adding quite a bit of spin. This one's a flat ball. So he's mixing it up for the return to be, there's a variation in his return. So allowing for a non-premeditated workout. A lot of times when we train, we have set drills where everything is premeditated. There's a disadvantage to that because you move before the ball even gets there, which is inaccurate. So what this is, the coach is deciding on what he wants to do next. It could be based on the position, the timing of the ball coming in, the play coming into the ball, and then if he sees this opportunity to go deep onto the backhand side or drop short on the backhand side, all this is part of training, to train the player to be able to move whenever required. Because in a match, your opponent is not going to tell you up front where the ball is going to go. So in training, we try and train all these finer details from serve, service, receive, and the first 3 or 5 balls. We'll do most of that in training. Of course, you'll see a lot of times when people train, they train hard on the forehand topspin to forehand topspin. Yes, we also train like that, but that is more later in the rallies. If we take a match example, you first need to get over your service returns, your placements, to get the ball up and running before you can go into forehand topspins. So one thing I've noticed in a lot of amateur settings is you start your practice session with forehand to forehand topspin. Half an hour later, you go away from the table forehand to forehand topspin. And then you do the whole table forehand to forehand topspin, and that's 1 hour gone, and you think you have done a good workout. But then when they play against stronger players, then you will notice that these players do not have the opportunity to do forehand topspins in matches because the match is finished, or the points are all finished in the first 3 or first 5 balls. So everybody can do attacking game, but not everybody can do placements, control, spin, or rated placements in the first 3 and first 5. Okay, so coach is back and is continuing the drill. Drop, drop. So one of the more difficult drills to do is a forehand short and then going back to your backhand side. So that is the longest reach for you to travel, to cover. And also we train a lot of the ball coming to the middle of the table. Most players you think you only have an x-axis, the 2 sides, but in fact the center line towards the backhand or the center line towards the forehand, that's actually a very difficult spot in terms of getting into a good position to hit. So that's once more towards center back and wide backhand, center. So if you don't have a quality of training partner to place the ball back for you, if the ball goes all over the show, for example, and you can't actually get a good workout, then you can try and get a feeder to feed to you. So drop 1 ball short and the second one could be placing anyway. So the ideal thing is you need to have 2 players. You find your mates and you guys help each other out. One trains with the other or one feeds for the other. And both of you can grow. And it's not about doing anything fancy. It's just focusing on the details. Focusing on just getting the movement right, the contact right. Getting the quality there. So it's not just about quantity, but it's about quality. So a lot of respect to the coach. The ball almost hit the coach and he apologizes. Okay, the coach is going at a faster frequency now. Get him to move faster. And in fact, the momentum, the tempo is actually suiting the player. He's actually moving a lot better and the quality is getting better. And with all these training, it's not about just what happens in the first 3 or first 5 minutes. Rather, it's the last 3 minutes and the last 5 minutes when he's tired, when he's struggling to move. All those additional movement is what he's gaining from the session. Everybody can look good when they have full of energy. The test comes when they are tired, when the muscle is aching, where they still need to try and get the ball back on with quality. So a more disciplined player at that zone, he will try and push himself to close to 100% as possible. Can see he's tired. He's actually holding the table with his other hand, which is not allowed. He's struggling now. So in this moment, this zone, this is where things are improving for him. He's struggling to get there. And you'll find that a lot of time when you're tired, your technique goes all over the show. What is normally easy becomes very difficult. So very difficult exercise. You're not too sure if you need to stay short or get a forehand going or move back to your backhand. It's very, very short notice. The coach is only using his wrist to guide the ball into the direction it's going. So there's no other movement. So you as a receiving player, you can only feel, number one, the power of that push the coach is doing to know if it's short or long. Number two, once the ball leaves the racket and maybe by a certain angle, which you know the direction is going. So that is really a split-second reaction time. It's a very, very tough drill to do, and it's even tougher after 5 or 10 minutes of it. Alrighty, the other player went to get some, I think, tea or water for the coach, so he's busy drinking a well-deserved drink, and that will be it for this specific episode. I hope you guys enjoy and like it. Please let me know if you have any comments. Please share, please subscribe, and thank you for supporting our channel.